If you want news, sports, and motivation, then tune into the Vet Plus One with your host, Adam Miller.
Good evening and welcome to the Vet Plus One with your host, Adam Miller. On today's show, we're going to cover another episode of the Bucks coverage where I discuss the recent deal of Tyler Zeller to the Milwaukee Bucks for Rashad Vaugn and a future second-round pick. Now, this is very surprising to me. I didn't expect the Bucks to go after Tyler Zeller like this, but I think it's a very smart deal. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the trade. And it was reported early on today that the Bucks acquired Tyler Zeller, a backup center for the Brooklyn Nets, for Rashad Vaugn and a 2018 second-round pick. Now, this would only be a second-round pick that goes to the Brooklyn Nets if it falls in between the range of 31 and 46 pick range. If it does not, then this pick will go to the Phoenix Suns as part of the Eric Bledsoe deal that brought Eric Bledsoe to Milwaukee for Greg Monroe. And if that happens, then the Nets will go ahead and get the Bucks' 2020 protected second-round pick. Now that's probably going to be around the same 31 to 46 range, but I don't see this trade have the pick going to the Phoenix Suns. I expect this pick to fall within the 31 to 46 range. That seems pretty reliable, pretty decent. I don't think it's going to happen to go to Phoenix, but that's why the Bucks sent over Rashad Vaugn in the deal. So either way, the Nets are getting somebody that they can plug in and play right away, and they're not worrying about losing that pick. I mean, this pick is going to be good for them, but at the same time, it wasn't going to alter the deal or anything. This is just a sweeten the deal type thing. Here, we'll give you this pick for Tyler Zeller. I think it's a win-win deal for both sides of both teams. The Bucks are getting a solid backup center in Tyler Zeller. I mean, he only averaged like 6 points a game with the Nets. I mean, he's going to get some minutes behind John Henson, who's our starter, and probably split some starts with him. I mean, if he performs well, he might be able to get some starts in there. But I think this is a much-needed trade for us, and financially it makes a lot of sense for us that we would go and get somebody like him. I think it really makes a point to where the Bucks are going in the fact that they don't want to give up anybody else like Malcolm Brogdon or Thon Maker or Sterling Brown for somebody like DeAndre Jordan plus Jabari Parker. I mean, that could still happen, but I don't know. I think this kind of was a safe net for us to go ahead and trade for Tyler Zeller so that we wouldn't have to give up so much for him or give up so much to get one player that may only play for us for that 1 year and then buy out. So all in all, I think this is a very good trade for the Bucks. Tyler Zeller by no means is a stellar center or a player that a legitimate player you can plug in there and play start for center right away. But it's a decent pick. It's going to get us some minutes. It's going to solve a lot of issues, but by no means is it going to make us a better team. It will be a stopgap so that Giannis doesn't have to really play the center role that often and take out his game and dangerousness around the rest of the court. Now, it brings me to the point, the future trades that we have coming up. I mean, there was reports that the Bucks were interested. There was a report. I'm not sure if they were interested, but from reading the post or the news article, it was saying that the Bucks could get a win-win with Indiana Pacers if they would trade Brogdon and Sterling Brown for Miles Turner. Now, to me, that would be a great deal. But then again, Tyler Zeller just going to come off the bench. Probably have to move him down to the D League because he probably won't get any more minutes. So then again, you're really giving up a player and then moving somebody down to the D League because he can't play, because you're going to get somebody like with Miles Turner who's going to fit in as your starting center, and that would create a logjam right there, and that you'd have to now trade John Henson because of all the money you owe him. But I think that would be a very good pickup for us if we were able to swing that deal. But I don't see that really happening now that we got Tyler Zeller. But you never know. it could still happen. There's also reports that we could go for Nikola Vucevic of the Orlando Magics for Brogdon, Brown, and Thonmaker and a protected pick. Now that to me, that would be giving up way too much for a guy like Vucevic, who is not really, in my mind, a fill-in type star player. Like, you're giving up some key pieces for a guy like Vucevic, who's owed 2 more years in his deal for about, I think, was it $27 million, something like that. That's a lot of money to give up to tack on to your salary, which we don't really have a lot of money in the end, anyways, to give up that. And then there was this crazy rumor that the Bucks should be serious about trying to trade for LeBron James if Cleveland were to want to trade him. But that's just a rumor. I don't think that would ever happen. And why would you want to trade within your division and to get LeBron James for 1 year? Wouldn't make any sense for the salary that he's owed. I mean, it would make us a legit contender for the finals. But I don't see that happening by no means. But I think this is a very smart deal for the Bucks to be able to go ahead and get a guy like Tyler Zeller, like I said. This will fill some needs for the team. And financially, it's what made more sense to John Horst, our GM, to go ahead and get this guy. I mean, anytime we give a player that we drafted or somebody that we felt heavily about for a guy in another trade, you always have those emotions, and everybody in the team is gonna feel that way in the management and everything. But it was the right deal for both sides, and Rashad Vaugn will now be able to go over and play with the Nets and get more minutes and be able to develop more. The Bucks just could not give him the minutes that he needed, and he couldn't develop properly with the Bucks system with Tony Snell and Chris Middleton all playing. So I'm happy for Rashad Vaugn. I hope he excels in Brooklyn and hopefully becomes that type of player that we all know he can be. He just needs that more tuning of his skills and more playing time so that he can actually hone his skills a lot better. As to Tyler Zeller, he'll probably average around 10 to 15 minutes with the Bucks. That's pretty reasonable. Something like Jabari Parker is getting right now, just because he's coming off the bench. But now getting this guy gives Jabari Parker more time to play now as he's going to start getting back into the starting role. And then I want to talk about Jabari Parker and his weekend return. He came back against the Knicks and played against the Knicks and the Nets. In those games, he averaged about 11.5 points a game, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. That's not too bad for coming back and only playing 15 minutes or 16 minutes on average. 1 more minute than they actually projected that he would actually start out and playing. I'm very happy that Jabari Parker's back. I mean, it was so exciting when I watched him versus the Knicks and they introduced him. It was so crazy. Like, he was just wanting to come onto the court and stuff. He was just trying to stay composed. That was goosebumps all over the stadium, and all the fans in Milwaukee had the goosebumps when they saw he was coming in. That was amazing. And I'm so happy that we got him back, and I think he makes the team a lot better, because now that with Jabari Parker back, we can stretch Giannis more, stretch him out to more of that 4, keep him at that 4 position, maybe a 5 when John Henson's not in there. But now let's give us another threat. So now teams are going to start focusing more on Giannis, and that's going to give Jabari Parker more open shots and more chances to create his own shots and score more. I mean, in the games he played, he was driving the basket, trying to dunk, but he just couldn't dunk because he doesn't have that fluidity in his knee yet. He's not as quick on his feet and still or yet, but he's getting there. And probably by after the All-Star break, give it another month or 2, and I think by the end of the season, towards the playoffs, he'll be hard charging and he'll be good to go. I mean, it's a great addition back to our team, and we really needed it. Now, will the Bucks give him this contract extension that he thinks he's worthy of, and that many of us think he can be capable of? I mean, that's for everyone else to think, or everyone else to make their opinion on. But my suggestion is that we find a way to see if we can get him to maybe another 1-year deal and see if he can perform on another 1-year deal. And I mean, he may not like it, but to me that would be the best case scenario for the Bucks financially, if we can get him to play 1 year on that deal so that we can really be assured that he can actually perform, that he's back to normal. I mean, it's so hard when a player goes out with a second ACL injury to want to give him that money. I mean, look at Derrick Rose. He got that big contract with Chicago and had 3 consecutive ACL injuries. That's very hard. Now he plays the New York Knicks. I believe he still plays the Knicks. But that doesn't, I mean, he got all that money just to go be a backup in New York. And he was never the same player anymore. And that's what a lot of people are afraid that Jabari Parker is going to end up like. By no means am I trying to doubt Jabari Parker. I think he's an incredible player. And he's a totally different player than Derrick Rose is. My full intention is that he will recover completely and he will become the player that the Bucks took the number 2 pick and drafted him for. I think he's better than Andrew Wiggins. He just hasn't had the time to play yet all that time because he got injured. I mean, he averaged more points than Andrew Wiggins did. But it's very cautious for the Bucks to want to give him that money. Because they would have given that money last year. They would have given that max 5-year deal over $100 million. Over $100 million. That's money that they gave Giannis, and Giannis is still playing. That guy would have been, I mean, Jabari Parker would have been out, and we would have been forced to eat that money or be without him and paying him money because we can't play him because he's injured. That goes without saying. But I really believe Jabari Parker is going to come back better than ever, and he is the real deal. Now, this is a very short video, but I just wanted to go on and point that out, the big deal the Bucks got with Tyler Zeller, Jabari Parker's return, and the future deals. But one last thing that I want to point out and clear up, because a lot of people were asking about it, was Giannis Antetokounmpo's dunk contest snub. Now, you can call this a snub, or you can call it just what it is, whatever. Me personally, I'm not going to consider it was a snub. I'm going to consider it as Giannis, on a personal level, he probably didn't want to be in it. Or, to him, it's not going to matter if he was in the dunk contest. Because he's more geared towards the team and wanting to help the team. I mean, that's just a personal accolade getting to the dunk contest. I mean, it would have been really nice to see Giannis in it. I mean, maybe next year he'll get in it, but this year, hey, he's not going to be in it. And that's just that. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this coverage of the Bucks coverage. And if you guys really liked it, I would like to have you guys go on to Twitter and follow me at the Vet+1. Follow me on Snapchat, the Brewers Rule 27. Facebook at Adam Miller. And Instagram at BrewCity1994. And if you guys really want to help me improve my channels, please give me some comments, send me some tweets, let me know what you guys want to see in the next video or the next podcast, and I'll be back with another video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday night, and a great Tuesday, and a great rest of your week, and I'll be back with another video as soon as more breaking news comes. Good night.